Guns Akimbo.
We had a whole argument about what akimbo means because he wanted to do this whole thing of putting his legs up. And I'm like, I'm looking on Google right now. It says put your hands on your hips. And I fought to make sure he did it that way. And yet I had no issue with not pulling out a prop gun, but just using my arms.
There you go.
Says more about me than John.
Words mean something.
I love Daniel Radcliffe movies that are out. Like, I love the Harry Potter films, but, you know, when I see him in stuff like Horn, Swiss Army Man, I get really excited for that. And the fact that he's in an action movie, that got me really excited. Saw this on the trending page. Let's do this. Saban films, huh?
Schism picked random psychos, weirdos, and criminals and made them fight each other to the death. So the internet loved it.
Oh, Jesus.
And then I came into the picture.
Oh.
You scared yet?
Oh.
Getting like Wanted vibes.
A little bit, yeah.
Schism.
Oh, they're like nailed in.
Oh, nasty.
Took these things to my hands. They have my girlfriend. And some psycho is trying to kill me. I'm not a fighter. I'm a nobody. Hey!
To say you can't face violence, but when it faces you, you better be ready.
Let's restart.
When the shit goes down, you better be ready. You better be ready.
Right round. Hell yeah.
Get out of the car, please. Come on. Please get out. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry.
Oh, God.
Oh, of course.
Harry.
How's he reload? Edward Gun Hands.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah, there you go. That's the name for that.
I love that trailer. Pure adrenaline, pulpy, hyper kinetic action. I really did get a lot of Wanted vibes in the plot is different, but there are similarities, I thought. I mean, first off, Daniel Radcliffe and James McAvoy American accents sound kind of similar to one another. The average Joe with the narration, bit of a cynical mindset, gets thrusted into this hyper stylized action world and will probably be an ultimate badass in the end. And of course, some visual aesthetics as well. But this idea of a dude who's thrusted into this sick internet game with guns nailed to his hands. I feel like there's going to be a lot of great physical comedy to come from it. The action does look awesome. That other girl with the weird hair and the tats and stuff, the villain girl.
Salander looking.
Yeah, is that
Weaving?
Samara Weaving from Ready or Not? Oh, if you guys haven't seen Ready or Not, that is a really, really underrated movie from 2019. Samara Weaving is excellent in the film. And after seeing her in that and seeing her do this, and like, yeah, this is so cool for her. Reese Darby from Yes Man, and also the Flight of the Conchords show on HBO. There's so much to look forward to here. I mean, this looks great. This looks like a whole bunch of grindhouse fun.
Yeah, this reminded me of like a Free Guy or one of those movies about like an app game that goes too far but taken to like a heavy metal gonzo extent, which is what made it look super exciting. Like I'm getting, vibes from other movies. I thought of Upgrade too a little bit, just in some of the look and some of the sort of like, I'm in a hyper-violent situation, but I'm also a little like skeeved out by it. And I think Daniel Radcliffe, Yeah, I love his little niche that he's carving out with these interestingly esoteric but also kind of fun and quirky, movies that have like pulp but also just these interesting, like I'm curious to see what the story blossoms out into, because right now it's pretty basic. It's a revenge and retrieval sort of a mission. He's gonna have to form an unlikely alliance with Samara Weaving and stuff.
Well, so he's trying to save his ex-girlfriend, right?
Yeah. So like I'm curious to see what will make the story itself rollicking and original. But yeah, just the look of everything. I haven't seen Deathgasm, but I've heard a lot of good things about that, and I've heard that that's a pretty wild movie. This seems to have a similar kinetic, wild, again, heavy metal energy. It almost looks like a more cyberpunk, more objectively fun version of like a Mandy almost, with like the crazy dudes with chainsaws, and like it's not just guns even, it looks like a murder party or something.
Well, this director has a visual effects artist background, worked on some major films. I get excited for those, especially when they've proven that they can actually direct, because this is not some huge studio film, but the effects look great because you got a director at the helm who clearly knows how to make some really great effects in camera and, of course, in post on computer or whatever. It's cool to see a sort of, I don't know if this would qualify as like technically independent film because it's not like major studio produced, but it's cool to see one of these lower-fi like produced films, but also have this look, aesthetic appeal, quality to it that does feel like more grandiose. I'm sure this is going to be really funny stuff. I just love that Daniel Radcliffe does not take himself seriously. Like every interview I've ever seen him in, he seems like he really does have this boyish, sort of insecure quality about him. And it seems like he has learned to really play to those charming, humorous strengths that he does have. It's like he can choose whatever projects he wants now, because he's got unlimited money for the rest of his life.
He's gonna be collecting checks forever.
So he can do a lot of these interesting character arc journeys that are experimental. I'm also really happy too that this trailer seems to be getting pretty popular for some random film that no one has probably really ever heard of unless they really follow like Daniel Radcliffe news. Because I saw it on the trending page, I'm like, what the hell is this movie?
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe is living the dream. I mean, you do like a wildly popular franchise and then just go off and do whatever random indie stuff you want to do. Like, I'm jealous.
I mean, there are like vibes to it that kind of, seem a little bit like an Edgar Wright film, especially more of his crazier films like Scott Pilgrim versus the World or something like that. The World, they call it Schism, yeah. The World of Schism, this weird internet kind of like, sounds a bit like The Running Man, that concept, but a lot more global and random.
It's like the updated dark web version, just like everybody tunes in.
Speaking of which, they should make a Running Man remake. I feel like it'd be pretty relevant right now, and they could really update it and make it work.
Rob Zombie did it. It's called 31.
Oh yeah, it's true. Curious to see how much of that world and what the rules are of that, because right now it just kind of seems like you equip people, you watch them go unleashed and go crazy. But I want to see if are there any rules to this world at all,
or do they have some kind of omnipresence where they can alter or adjust your moves to the arc of whatever story? Because I think it's supposed to be that the Samara Weaving character is like the lead figure on Schism, so maybe I don't know if they'll have rules about what you can do to other people or whatever.
Tonally, already this is not a Red Band trailer, but tonally you feel how violent this movie is going to be, because you can only imagine with a Red Band trailer just how insanely violent and gory this film is going to be, and that just makes for a rollicking good time. And I feel like there's going to be some great hilarious stakes, primarily in the first half of Act 2 when he wakes up with the guns, like that bit when he's going to the police and he can't ask for help, he can't drive a car, he doesn't know how to, he just looks like a threat everywhere he goes because it looks like he's just wielding guns.
It's gonna be the wackiest fish out of water comedy for like 20 good minutes.
That's what I mean. But Daniel Radcliffe is great in this kind of genre, I think, for this kind of character, which is so different from it's weird to be like, I wish people would not just only think of Harry Potter when they go to Daniel Radcliffe, yet I keep bringing up how he's different than Harry Potter, so automatically I'm linking him to Harry Potter
I feel
again.
like that's a common, like, oh man, look at what Daniel Radcliffe's doing now that he's done with Harry Potter. Something so different. And yeah, I feel like that becomes the conversation every time he does one of these. So let's take bets about how long it'll take for that to stop.
To not bring that up.
Yeah. When is he gonna age to the point where he doesn't look like Daniel Radcliffe still?
This looks awesome. I'm really excited about it. Guys, what do you think of this trailer? Or do you want Daniel Radcliffe to do more films like this? Have you seen Ready or Not? What do you think of Samara Weaving? Comment below. Please subscribe, click notification bells. You can check us out on Patreon where we do weekly Q&As, TV show reaction stream-alongs. Many of those shows have reaction highlights included that we edit ourselves. He does music video reactions weekly. Last but not least, I'd like to give a patron of the day shout out to a beautiful man, James Nobriga. James sincerely wanted to thank you for showing your support. He sent me over a link because I saw in his thumbnail that he's rocking a guitar, so he's really into music. Sent me over a song that him and his wife Katie wrote and performed together. And it's called Changing Names, Scars. I actually listened to the whole thing. I thought it was a really beautiful song. He's great at guitar. His wife has a beautiful voice. It's a great song. There's a link in the description box to go check this out. Thank you so much, and please continue to be a rollicking artist. Hopefully you stick around our Patreon page a little bit longer, just a little bit. Don't want you to stay too long. Never know. Some people get to know us too well. Don't like us over time. Yeah.
They're like, ooh, what did I see in you?
So before we get outed in the public sphere,
Before we outstay our welcome.
you know, you might want to consider
Writing a song about us.
2 more months. Stay. Increase your budget.